Okay, so this is now episode 3 of Eat, Drink, and Be Scary. Here with us, I'm Bill, and go ahead.
Tom.
And Ryan.
And Tanya.
All right, and last week we talked about a mumbleful of jumble, and the week before that we did the same thing. And I think now it's a good time to start reeling things in and picking tighter subjects, because we tend to ramble. The last show was over an hour.
That's why I'm writing down a list of things that we're actually going to talk about.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. I know one of the things we did talk about last week was the Flat Earth documentary, and some of you have watched that. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
I think my favorite part was when they were talking about putting a tube around their satellite. That way it would disprove the theory that everyone was telling them would happen, and they were just trying to find ways to cover it up.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
That was pretty good. Tanya, you saw it. What'd you think?
I think my absolute favorite part was the very, very last scene before credits started rolling, was when they were trying to prove the Earth was flat by shining a light at this height, and if obviously the Earth is flat, so if they try to aim it, it's going to be the same height on the board on the other end. And it wasn't. They kept having to ask the guy to hold it up higher and higher because it just wasn't working out in their favor.
Well, he said exactly. He goes, this is supposed to be this height, and if it's round, it'll be 23 feet. And then they raise it up, and he's like, how high are you? And he's like, 23 feet. And he goes, oh.
Just the disappointment in his face. It's like...
Yeah, he says something. He goes like, "Oh, that's interesting," or something, and then it goes to the credits. It's really great. I think one of my favorite parts about the documentary is there's a guy that's in it for about 3 seconds, and he's wearing a Flat Earth shirt. He's at the convention, and he just walks up and he's like, "Hey, what's up, Flat Earthers? Yo!" And like, but Netflix uses that guy as the picture. So I thought I thought he was like the star of it.
Does he really? Does it really?
Yeah, and. They use him as the like little banner image for it, and then I saw a document or an article about the documentary use that guy's picture too. Like it had really nothing to do with the documentary.
Probably just didn't have to pay him any royalties.
Yeah, I don't know. So I thought that was really interesting. Anyway, if you haven't watched that one, so this week we're going to talk about. Well, first of all, we hinted. Let's talk about the mattress theory for a little bit, and the mattress theory is. Started off because Ryan and Tom and myself went on... they brought me in on a ghost hunt. Not a ghost hunt. How would you describe it, Ryan?
We were going into a house to determine whether or not there was actual paranormal activity. So it was basically a walkthrough followed by a paranormal investigation.
Okay, and the interesting thing about it was... there was a mattress, a huge mattress right in the middle of the living room. Like this monstrous mattress. It just sitting there. Like, why? In fact, it was covering the kid's desk. Remember there was a child's desk in there? And so just in the middle of the living room, you couldn't like all sit in the living room and talk because there was this mattress up on this weird angle right in the middle of it. Boom, paranormal activity. The next place we went to.
Well, the fact that they said they'd also moved in the house like 10 months ago, too.
And there was a completely empty room.
Yeah, well, that's where the ghost activity was happening, though, remember? It was in the empty room.
Right.
But that is where Ryan's phone freaked out. His phone freaked out. So we go to the next house, like a year later, and boom, mattress in the living room.
I think there were 2 mattresses in that living room. It was like twice as haunted.
Yeah, it's true. Which then was really odd because the bedroom, 3 people slept in one bedroom. It was 2 girls and a little baby. And there was so much stuff on the bed. I don't know how they did it. Anyway, so I was thinking, in fact, I made a joke. Tom and I made a joke. We said, hell yeah, it's got to be a mattress. And then I watched, what's his face, Zach Baggins, his Demon House documentary.
God.
And they make reference, they showed some past video of some people doing, investigating the home. And there was a mattress. Just nothing else in the living room but a mattress, just sitting there.
Memory foam never forgets.
And then they went, and there was the woman that her family, they lived in there, and they went to her house to go interview her because they said it was haunted. and they sit on the couch, and behind the couch, a mattress, just sitting there.
Well, think of how much time people spend on a mattress, right? You know, they're sleeping most of the time, or they're engaging in other mattress activities, and maybe there's a lot of energy associated with those coils.
I mean, they tell you as a selling point, that's why you buy a new mattress. You leave like 7 pounds of skin and sweat in there. So by the time you die, it's probably the last remnant of you.
That's 21 grams right there.
Oh, we figured out the 21 grams.
That's part of the theory now.
There you go.
Now we know it's just all the goo you leave in a mattress.
Yep, it's the soul of the mattress.
Beauty rest forever in it.
Yeah, that was. That's just, and so basically, the first thing you should do if you find out your house is haunted, check to see if you have a mattress in your living room.
Or remove the mattress.
Yeah.
From your yeah. Or use it to sleep on, since you're all crammed on one bed.
Yeah, I think that's it. So, listen, I'm not a mattressologist, but I have to say that I think it's somewhat related. So we'll find out. So listen, again, next time if you think there's anything strange going on in the house, any bumps in the night, see if there's a mattress in your living room. You're welcome. So the next thing we want to talk about...
So you're saying if you hear...
mattress-related bumps in the night.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, too.
That's funny. I was going to say, if you hear chains rattling, check your headboard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is true.
Sound advice.
Sound advice.
All right, Tom, you had something you were going to talk about.
Yeah, if I brought up shape-shifting reptilians, most people would just throw me out of a party. But speaking of...
I can think of a lot of other reasons people would throw you out of a party, but
this is not. It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally used to it. Outside, I'd start talking to somebody though about the Smashing Pumpkins, and if they were fans of that band, I'd say that Billy Corgan, the lead singer and one of the founding members, has actually been on Howard Stern twice talking about how he has witnessed a shape-shifting reptilian right in front of him, and actually has alluded to it being really like a close friend of his or somebody he's been spending a lot of time with. He does, obviously really vague on the radio, but if you listen to it, he is adamant about not having hallucinated, having been completely clean at the time. I don't know how much of it has to do with both times he was releasing an album, so any publicity is good publicity, but he also was talking about how he would tell Howard Stern everything afterwards, and it was just... Are you saying any of this, Bill?
No,
pulling that up.
No, I'm pulling up something reminiscent of it, but it's similar. But go ahead.
Oh, fantastic! So what he was saying is that they did acknowledge that it happened right in front of him. That he, for 4 or 5 days afterwards, felt completely drained of energy, had headaches. They wouldn't acknowledge where they came from, but they did pretty much say something in line with all humankind is going to pay. So, or suffer dearly.
Here's what I'm trying to...
Well, why would that happen, during sex?
I don't know if it was exactly during sex.
I think it happened during sex.
Well, they alluded to it being nude, it not being a man, a person changed, a nude person. I don't know about how many naked people you just hang around with, Ryan, but...
Well, none that change into
generally, if I'm around a naked reptilian, I've got some Barry White playing.
How do you get... So a reptilian that's not naked, do they make custom clothes? Like, you just go down and, where would you get a sweater?
That's a good point.
Well,
are they shape-shifting clothes?
The concept is that they are human when they shapeshift into the humans, and their real form is the reptilian. So I'm sure that if they were shapeshifting into human, they could just wear human clothes.
I would assume that they're built to scale.
Oh, wow. You've been holding on to that one.
Yeah. I wrote that down. No, I actually debated on using it because it was really bad, so I'm sorry. I did use it. So there.
It's kind of cold-blooded.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Did you? I didn't even have to think about that one. So, the guy who wrote Conan the Barbarian, Robert Howard, he was the first person to really talk about the serpent men or the reptilians in literature. And he wrote the story The Shadow Kingdom, which was published in Weird Tales in August of 1929. But apparently these reptilians come from Atlantis and Lemuria, and the Dragon Men once were a mighty civilization on a Lemurian continent. At least that's what Wikipedia is telling me.
The Dragon Man?
That's what they referred to them as, yeah.
Well, that's weird.
Reptilian Dragon Man, is that what that is?
That's what it said.
Yeah, so Well, I guess Billy Corgan likened them to the demons. He said that there are demons on Earth, and they are reptilian in shape, and that's why they likened in the Bible the serpent getting Eve to bite the apple, because if you just replace serpent with reptilian, we apparently still live among them.
Well, didn't they say that like George Bush was a reptilian?
Yeah, I think there was some kind of circulated video.
I think it's easier. And you know what? It's really funny because we talked about that Beyond the Curve movie, the Flat Earthers movie. The lady that was like the main character in that movie, they said that they accused her of being a reptilian.
Oh, yeah. I just accuse her of being weird. That would just be my thing.
Well, just because she believes that the Earth is flat doesn't mean that she's not.
Well, she believed in a lot of other conspiracy theories also. Like, she believed in a lot of that stuff.
Oh, I didn't really catch that part.
Who's the, by the way, speaking of singers who believe in stuff, who's the, oh my god, I can't think of who the 90s band, the lead singer, like, started donating, put in a bunch of money into trying to prove aliens were real. God, I can't remember who that was. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea. Can we get a fact check on that?
Yeah, he...
Trying, but the information is so vague.
Yeah, so
I did find just...
lead singer who believes in aliens. I think if you just type that.
Tom DeLonge from
Oh, that's
182.
right. Tom
Yes,
DeLonge.
that's it.
Yeah,
Thank
from
you.
Blink-182.
I win.
Yay!
You're right.
That's so he's like really believes.
Tom DeLonge from Blink-182.
Yep.
He's poured a bunch of money into it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he truly believes in that stuff, which is fine. I mean, that's cool. I
Well,
wouldn't.
he believes that aliens exist?
Yeah.
Well, it'd be statistically improbable that they don't.
Well, I think that what he believes in is that they have visited Earth. That's what I believe he believes in.
Like the ancient aliens theories?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying it's that, but it's aliens. I don't know. I don't know what he believes in. I think I would have to research it more. There's first of all, let's talk about this for a second. Do you, and let's just say any form of life.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Let's start with you. You believe there's life on other planets?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, mathematically, it's impossible.
Just mathematically, it'd be improbable for it not to be. There's a billion places in our universe alone. For us to think that we have not come across them, so they don't exist, is ridiculous. You know.
Well, there are a lot of theories behind what exactly is the definition of life, and the other thing is how that will define religion. From the moment that they have discovered life, if we do discover life.
Well, right. That goes back to the ancient aliens theory, right? The fact that they believe that ancient people were visited by aliens from another location outside of our planet were basically misdiagnosed as gods.
Yeah, it's the origin of religion.
Right. So therefore, one would predate the other, and one was like a cause the effect for the assumption.
So do you think it would either solidify religion? Do you think that it would just...
Well, I think since religion is the concept that, you know, there is a greater power that is trying to get us to do certain things, like, for example, the Christian God, the fact that he, you know, got rid of all of our sins so that we can keep sinning and then, you know, say we're sorry. I think that would go away. I think the idea of that there is more to what we understand in our universe, that's the way you'd have to look at it.
I mean, really, theology is woven into sociology. You can't separate the two of them, and that's one of the biggest conspiracy theories about why, if we know more than we know about alien life, they're not divulging it, because at a societal level we would just break down. I mean, theologically it would unravel, and if you don't have theology and religion to hold people together, then
the concept for morality would
half the reason you're living was gone for these people. So, or if not all of it. So what do you do with your life at that point?
Well, I don't think it's going to. I mean, if all the facts, all the science and everything is put in your face that disproves 90% of the Bible, and that does not deter you. I'm not sure if an alien coming down saying nanu, nanu, and saying, hey, by the way, we know the truth. I don't think that's going to change anybody. I don't think that's change anyone's true beliefs.
Well, if a green alien came down with a beard and long hair that looked like Jesus, I think there'd be a lot of questions we have to answer.
Jesus didn't have long hair.
I don't care.
I think
I
that
never met him.
I'm with Bill on that, though. I mean, I get that there are probably just an equal amount of people who would just rule it out of their consciousness. I mean, how much of this stuff exists every day that we don't even see? I mean, I'm not saying that aliens are here among us all the time. There are people who think this kind of stuff, though. They are. I mean, the reptilian people are supposedly alien in origin, and they're supposedly here amongst us all the time. So, I mean, shapeshifters being left out, maybe we're just putting a blind eye to this stuff. I mean, I'm a dad. I don't hear half the crap that's told to me. And they're saying it to me from 5 feet across the room. It existed.
Are shapeshifters considered to be aliens?
No, shapeshifters are a preternational concept.
Uh-oh.
What that means is we have basis for understanding because they could be human and they could be animal, for example. But what we don't understand is how they function from becoming an animal from being a human. It's kind of like we understand what a vampire is, but we couldn't really understand the dynamics of why a vampire exists.
Glitter.
Does that make sense?
I think it's glitter.
Yeah, I think it is too. Okay, so a shapeshifter. Reasoning. What exactly is a shapeshifter? Like, and should I fear one? If I found out Tom was a shapeshifter, is it just like...
I would wonder why he chose the shape that he's in.
Yeah, I would too. Like, we have never talked.
Oh, man. Well, I saw it pictured once.
You need...
If I get this really thin mustache, people will believe it's credible.
Pencil mustache will make a comeback. You watch.
He's the envy of every 13-year-old boy out there. One day I'm going to grow a mustache like that.
I'm a Lothario.
So what's a shapeshifter? Like exactly what is it in mythology or present day or whatever? If right now the people who believe in a shapeshifter, what do they think they are?
Well, simply put, it's anything that can change from its original appearance to another. Usually, the concept of from one person to another or one person to an animal. I don't really hear a lot about people shape-shifting into like chairs or couches, but
I don't know. I would think that it's probably shifted because at the beginning you would think it would be like molecular atom. Like if you can control your atoms and your energy, you can control how you would move and look. But then that just kind of leads me into the newer thought of, are we talking about like a Matrix thing here where everything is a virtual reality? Or we're living in multiple realities and everything is just mind projection?
well, that's completely different from shape-shifting, in my opinion, because one is a hologram. You're not actually having an illusion of shifting, while you have things like the octopus that can actually shape-shift, right? It makes it... It can change the way it looks. It can change the
color of its skin.
And I don't know if coloring of the skin would completely be a shapeshift, but the fact that there are some that can completely alter the way they look physically, which is pretty neat.
Is it just the idea of going in between a camouflage state and a regular state?
No, I would think from one recognizable entity to another recognizable entity that's completely separate from the two.
All right, so what's the science behind it? How are they doing it? Is it just by basically hypnotizing the eye of the person viewing it? Or is it they are physically changing the way they look?
Well, I don't know. That's the thing. I've never met one.
Yeah,
that's according to a lot of this...
you don't know you've never met one.
True.
That you know
mythology and folklore, it's present in the oldest forms of totemism and shamanism. So,
well,
a lot of it is saying that if it does happen, it's usually through magic or.
Well, if you talk about like the Navajo skinwalkers or, anyone who... So totemism is the concept of you have a relationship with a particular totem. For example, an animal totem like a wolf, right? And the idea is through a magical and spiritual relationship, you have the ability to communicate and therefore, I guess in this situation, take on the characteristics of your totem.
The attributes of a spirit animal.
I was going to ask if that it was related to a spirit animal.
Well, it could be, yeah. The most common one that everyone knows about is the werewolf, right? The human who becomes the wolf. So that could be totemic if you look at it. The idea of it's becoming a wolf. Could be the totem. I mean, there's several different theories on how you could even become a werewolf. You could get bit by one. My favorite is if you drink rainwater from the footprint of someone who's a werewolf. That one's my favorite.
Triple distilled in Colorado.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Oh, yeah.
Just making werewolves.
Werewolf ale.
Yeah. I think we have a product there.
Yeah, we better copyright.
Yeah, copyright.
So should we fear shapeshifters? Are they evil, or do we know?
Well, according to Billy Corgan, I mean, like, humanity is going to pay.
Well, that could just be.
Although he's having sex with one of them, so I mean, like, how and still making music that has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Well,
so how scared can he be?
Well, couldn't it just be like one rogue reptilian?
One reptilian.
Well,
in the face of humanity.
I feel like with any species, the human species, for example, we have people who are great, and we have people who are batshit crazy, and I feel like each person has their own agenda. Why wouldn't a shapeshifter have their own agenda too? I mean, unless they're constantly changing their mind.
I guess that's true.
Well, you're going to change your body.
Well,
So what would be the point of shapeshifting? Why wouldn't you just stay one
infiltration,
thing or another?
I would say.
You know, I think you think about, like, somebody loses all summer, they lose 15 pounds. And during that time, they can become a lot more confident. But it takes all that time. Do you immediately have that? Like, I'm having a really crappy day. Then all of a sudden you, like, change into, like, Brad Pitt. And then do you just suddenly, like, all that confidence there? Like, I'm now super confident, look at me. That would be changing your mind. But if I change myself into a fat slob, or a half Asian guy with a little tiny pencil mustache, I mean, I'm going to have a different...
Thank you for saying pencil mustache.
Well, I think it depends on why you're doing it to begin with. If you have the ability to shapeshift, are you, like, for example, are you going to shapeshift into a person to get into a location that you normally couldn't unless you are that individual, just to, let's say, I don't know, rob a bank, right? You go in looking at one person, you leave and look like somebody else, now you got all this money and no one knows who the hell did it.
That's true. And by the way, this is a very relevant point right now. Tom, I want you not to forget that Ryan's beard doesn't connect to his sideburns. So if he starts...
that's why I did that.
I know, but if he starts giving you a hard time...
My beard doesn't connect to itself.
That's true.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I shaved that.
But you shave it for a reason. Because your beard won't connect to your sideburns.
So what you're saying is genetically I'm superior because I don't have to shave that?
Bill's just okay with the fact that his beard connects to his ball sack.
It does. Mm-hmm. It's just one, like I have a body comb, and I just, like, run it up and down my whole body, and it just hits hair everywhere.
That's why his apartment is so staticky.
Is it staticky? I don't think it is. I don't know. Maybe it is.
I don't know. That was pretty shocking.
Oh, wow.
God, I can set you up.
All right. That blew up quickly. All right, anyway.
You know you should talk to about this whole shape-shifting thing? Women today, because they're marrying all these guys.
Women, right?
Well, they're marrying women, right? These guys with these huge beards, and then 2 years later, these guys shaved their beards, and then they shape-shifted. These women have no idea who the hell these guys are.
Yeah, but a girl can change women can cut their hair, like any day.
Too.
Tanya, when's the last time you cut your hair really short? No. But hold on, women
Samson cannot cut his hair.
8 years ago, and it was like pixie short.
Yeah, but that can
and
happen.
It was like mid waist to pixie short, and a different color.
I don't understand why you said that at all. Like, can you explain that to me?
Samson cutting his hair?
No.
It's in the Bible, man.
I know what it is. I'm talking about you can ask women about shape-shifting because people shave?
Yeah, because men, they shape-shift. They shift their face. Guys, we were talking about a disguise to be able to get into somewhere. So I'm sure half these guys couldn't get admittance into marriage that they got into with their actual face.
That's like saying everyone's a shapeshifter on Halloween.
That's true.
You just blew my mind.
So if you're really heavy and you lose a bunch of weight, are you technically a shapeshifter?
See, I was thinking Bill had the right thing. You asked earlier what would be the point of being a shapeshifter, and then Bill said, I mean, like, if you could get into the gig where you're like, look, I lost 50 pounds. Take the next picture. Done.
That's like the worst shapeshifter ever. Right?
Yeah. Just really slow.
That's like changing, like, you could be a werewolf, but you change into like a basset hound instead. Right.
You know what the irony about werewolves is? Right. It would be scarier for the wolf to turn into a person.
No, that's true.
Yeah, we think it's like a degradation to turn into a wolf, but it's really more wild to be a person.
I did find some reasons why people would change shapes.
Tell me.
According to Wikipedia.
Oh, great.
Their powers.
The experts say.
Wait, their powers.
Powers.
What's the Basset Hound's
for
powers?
one, berserkers were held to change into wolves or bears in order to fight more effectively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but do you know those were just people who were taking massive amounts of drugs, and then fighting until they died.
I have animal fur on me.
And in an early Mayan text, there was one where someone came across a dying eagle and transformed into an eagle to convince the dying bird that in fact it was not dying, and they soared into the heavens together.
What was it doing instead?
I don't know, but it was probably just like laying there.
So could like Sam Elliott have turned into like a mangy Bigfoot and said, "We're not dying. Let's just run."
There's a lot of
Let's just
unanswered
run
questions
off
I want to know
together.
more about. Why isn't this a movie?
Right?
Yeah.
Let's see, and then there's another one. It was a fairy tale. There's a hero and his 3 sisters were married to animals who were all shapeshifted men.
Like the Frog Prince or something.
Oh, there you go. And I bet they all just shapeshifted in between each other and traded wives.
Yeah.
There's your answer.
No, that's not the answer.
But there's just, throughout history, all sorts of...
That's usually magic related, though, right?
I believe...
Like the person turning into an animal
So.
against their will.
Yeah.
Well, are you a shapeshifter if you've been shapeshifted by somebody else?
Well, yeah.
Call me. I am the attorney for...
Right. You shifted against your will.
Have you been turned into a bat? Are you a basset hound? Call me. Are your neighbors calling animal patrol on you while you sleep?
I feel like you'd have to take carrier pigeons as like the way to communicate, though.
But those could be people, too.
Those, well, work for free, I guess.
I keep a canary in my house, and I know the next morning if it's gone and I have a bunch of feathers in my mouth, then it's probably dangerous.
That's funny.
Are you suffering discrimination as an animal? Are you a crow and no one will hire you as a carrier pigeon? Call me.
Remember to get yourself spayed or neutered.
It's true. So now we know, okay, so shapeshifters. I just, in mythology, they probably kind of they're more like D-list celebrities in a sense, because nobody really does anything with them. I can't think of a single movie that's ever been based on just a shapeshifter that I can think of, other than X-Men.
Yeah, there have been. Any werewolf movie you've ever seen.
So we're counting this. So werewolves, okay. So there's been dozens.
American
and
Werewolf in
dozens.
London, The Wolf Man.
Wolf.
Oh, I know there's got
Wolf
to be
2,
something.
Electric Boogaloo.
There's
These
a
are
few
all...
I'm thinking of. People shifting. T-1000 shapeshifter. There you go.
I think my favorite. This reminds me of Futurama when we were talking about Bender getting
the honking.
hit. Yeah. The when Bender got hit by the Anti-Chrysler.
Honk.
That was so funny. Have you seen that episode, Bill?
No, I haven't seen it. I need to see
You're
it.
missing out.
So-
Oh, that's so good.
Bender gets ran over by this car.
The Ware car.
The Ware car called the Anti-Chrysler. And he keeps turning into a car and trying to run over all of his friends. And it's a great episode.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched his new show, Disenchanted. Is that what it's called? Is it any good?
I watched it for a few episodes. I haven't been able to get into it, but I mean, some of those Matt Groening shows, you got to get a season in.
It's definitely no Futurama. But
But what is?
I'll wait for the shapeshifters.
Futurama.
True.
Yeah, so I can't think of... So I guess beyond werewolf, but nobody would ever consider truly a shapeshifter. Because I would think if you're a shapeshifter... First of all, real quick, I don't know if we covered this. Are you
What about
restricted to one
Mystique and
animal?
the X-Men?
I said X-Men, but that's not...
Oh, I didn't hear you say that. Sorry.
But the thing of it is like if I'm a shapeshifter, am I limited to just one thing?
Well, I
Or
hope
can I-
not.
Okay, so but a werewolf, that's like a crappy shapeshifter because you get one thing, and people know.
I think it's...
Oh, he's a werewolf. But if I turn, like if you saw a werewolf, you'd go, "Oh, look at that, that's a werewolf."
It
But
must
if
be
I,
Bill.
there's Bill going out. Hey, go home, Bill.
Go shave.
You're drunk. Go home.
So, don't bite people.
Yeah. But what if like I shapeshift into like a grasshopper or something? Can I do that? And
Okay.
let's talk about volume
So,
on that. Like
to
mass
me-
to mass, what happens to that? Like, am I going to be a 220 pound?
Is it like an Ant-Man
Grasshopper?
scenario?
Because-
Do you shrink down?
Well, okay, so I think if I was going to label something as shapeshifter, it would be something or someone that can turn into anything they wanted. They can control the shape that they're shifting to. While if you're dealing with someone who is becoming a werewolf, they are a were, right? They're W-E-R-E. They are turning into whatever it is. Were-cat, were-dog, were-basset hound, werewolf, right?
I guess so, yeah.
So,
Well, okay, define that. What do you mean by where?
Well, I think what Ryan's saying is that a true shapeshifter would be able to change into anything, any form it wanted, it desired. It would be able to change its matter around or change its image.
like
Where-
Mystique from the X-Men.
Right.
Right.
Whereas somebody stuck between only choosing between two forms would be a were such and such.
Is that the definition of where?
I believe so.
Is it?
Is it?
I'm going to look it up right now.
All right, there we go.
Producer Tanya. hard at
Producer
work.
Tanya, would you please look up what where means? So, all right. So here's the other thing. So I'm a shapeshifter. So werewolves, they turn into a werewolf. Like they don't know. Like they don't remember anything. They just go out and they just kill. They instinctively become that. But if I'm a shapeshifter and I turn into a grasshopper, am I just now have the mind of a grasshopper, or do I keep my conscience and I just do?
Ooh, there's the answer for where all the shapeshifters went. They forgot to change back. Oh, crap.
I turn into a mole and I just forgot.
Well, I would think, like, once again, if you can shapeshift into anything, it would be easier just to shapeshift within your species.
Right. Well, I mean, if you keep a sentient mind and you keep going in between things, like I watched this movie Fallen. Do you remember that movie? It's a really old one, but it's pretty much about demonic possession, and it changes in between people. And it's as close as I'm getting there. I can't think of anything else where there's people changing.
You know what? Vampires into bats.
That's true, but that would be a werebat.
Yeah, but vampires can also allegedly turn into smoke, too.
Where
So,
smoke?
Tanya's on something. She has
Where smoke?
So, where?
there.
Middle English, Old Form English, where? W-E-R. This means man. So,
Man.
Man-wolf.
Man-wolf, man-caught, man-cat.
Oh, so there you go.
Man smoke.
So
So
man-
if you're changed between a
can
man
be a
and
were-
something
can be a
else,
wereplant?
Where plants?
Well, I was.
Watch out! It's werefern.
That's a
Because
great
it does
movie.
say under the shape-shifting that legend allows for transformations into plants and objects.
Like a,
Also, not just animals.
There-
So you could be a plant or a rug.
why would you...
a were rug.
That's a horrible ability.
I just want to
Oh.
start replacing man in modern English with
But what
everything
about,
with were.
like-
watch out for that were hole right there.
But then there was like one of the Wonder Twins only turned into water. How much did that suck? Form of
I don't know what you're
water.
talking about.
Super
water.
Friends. Super Friends. There was the Super Twins, and one turned into an animal. Wait, no, one turned into.
I mean, it depends on
I
what kind of
feel-
Wait a
animal.
minute.
Do you
This-
smell toast?
Take the form of duck.
Well,
You
pretty
don't
much.
remember? Hold on. Did you never watch the Super
Dude,
Friends?
I feel like you're having a stroke. I have
No,
no idea what
I'm
you're
seriously.
talking
One
about.
of them turned into something actually useful, and the other one
Oh,
turned
no.
into something that the other one
I
just
remember.
used.
It would. One would turn into animals, and the other one turned into water. And the brother turned into water, and then it would, like she would go form of a rhino, and then she'd use her horn to have a bucket of water to carry her brothers to chase bad guys. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up.
I'm gonna douse
Sorry.
you.
I'm
Okay,
sorry about
is
your
it?
childhood.
So
This-
what if he turned
and-
to water and it was hot and he evaporated? Was he just dead?
I don't know.
That's
Or what
another
if-
question of
I don't know, but I
shapeshifting.
bet you he'd be pretty steamed if he did. But listen,
Oh.
wow, we're really killing the horrible puns tonight. So also in the '80s, there was a TV show called, I think it was called Manimals. Anybody remember this? You might have to look this up, Tanya. Manimals. There's a TV show called Manimals. It didn't last very long. I remember I was a youth upon it being on, and I don't think I really watched it. It probably was on same time as like Fall Guy, and I just had to pick one.
Got it.
Fall Guy won because of Heather Thomas.
Wow, images from animals.
Oh, yeah.
is scary.
So there was, read the premise of the TV show.
Well, let's see.
But I wonder if they were aware or something, if they just can control, if they were shapeshifters.
Manimal TV series, 1983.
Yeah.
A man who can change himself into any animal fights crime.
See, he's using his powers for good instead of evil.
What?
Unlike a werewolf that just eats people.
Jonathan
How's he gonna
Chase was a
fight
British
crime?
college
As a rhinoceros?
professor at New York University, who had the unusual ability to transform into any kind of animal. He used
So-
his powers to battle crime alongside pretty policewoman Brooke and Vietnam War pal Ty.
So he couldn't handle that barehanded?
I see what you did there. It's really good. It wasn't. But, barehanded. So no, because you needed the girl on it, because it was like,
Well, right.
it was the top cop show with the hot cop.
You
So,
know my
I don't-
favorite...
I don't think it lasted very long.
There's a very similar show to that called Forever Night. Do you remember that? Where the guy was a vampire and he only could fight crime at night. You remember that?
No.
These sound like terrible movies. What the hell do you guys watch?
I think
TV
that was
shows.
on like
well, yeah, but you
Lifetime.
hold on. You watched that shitty show, but you never ever saw the Wonder Twins on Saturday morning with the Super Friends.
No, I can honestly tell
But
you, I never.
Forever Night is Knight.
Right? Yeah.
Not
Which
like,
is a lot cooler.
So
than,
that means he probably was a knight at one time, right?
I don't know.
Like
some guy
Highlander
walking around
or
in a
something.
full suit of armor,
He-
kicking ass.
He was, let's see, a drama about an 800-year-old angst-ridden vampire who
He's
lives
angst.
in present-day Toronto as a homicide detective in an attempt to repay for all his sins and regain his mortality with the aid of Natalie Lambert,
Yeah.
a mortal coroner,
See?
while trying to keep his secret from his partner.
The hot cop.
You know,
His
he could
quests are hindered by his tormented past and his seductive 2,000-year-old master, Lucien Lacroix.
I think it won like 11 Oscars. It had to.
It's a movie or is it a TV show?
TV,
TV show.
Ah, yeah. Well, then that would be
It,
him.
where did it go? It ran from 96 to 92.
92.
That's
92 to
reverse.
96,
It ran in
sorry.
reverse. It Benjamin buttoned.
Well, it's a vampire.
I was
It
8.
started with the season finale, and then it just went backwards.
It was great, and then it got
It was like,
dragged.
I don't know what happened. He just died. Now I got to watch the beginning of it. And it just took years.
I was looking at the wrong.
That's actually not a bad idea for a TV show. You imagine if they just show the end.
Yeah, like Memento, the movie,
Well, the Memento's. I guess it is all backwards. Yeah. But it's still
which
but,
is a great movie.
But this wouldn't be Memento where somebody confused. You just show what happens, and then everything is in reverse. And finally, at the very beginning, like they just everybody meets and shakes hands. Hey, how are you? Hope we have fun together. Here's your hot cop partner. Hi. That's
By the way, you're a werewolf. It's over.
It just starts off with him walking down the street. He gets bit by a wolf. He goes, "Damn it!" And then that's it. That's how it ends. So now Manimal could control who he was. He could be animals control it. A werewolf is a bad deal. It's almost like rabies.
Right,
or
you're subjected
something
to
like-
being a werewolf. It seems like that's never something. When you watch the movies, they don't like decide, oh, I'm going to become a werewolf now because it's advantageous.
It's just blacking out and being a bad drunk. Really, that's what it is.
Well, unless in like Twilight or something, right? Wasn't he like able to control it, or was there a
yeah.
moon?
I like that
didn't
you're looking
watch
at Tom
that
because you
movie.
know Tom's probably seen them. I have not seen
I
any of it.
haven't seen
You're
that
looking at
movie,
Tom.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, Tom.
No,
Uh-huh.
well, right. Everybody's looking at me suddenly.
Because you've got all the books at your house.
Just because I knew vampires are made of glitter. Jesus.
Yeah.
That made me so mad. Like, let's take the most important thing to the whole vampire lore and just get rid of it. And just toss a bunch of
Let's
fucking
just cover
glitter
Bela
all over it.
Lugosi in glitter.
Right. Oh, that would be a fantastic Halloween costume.
I heard those. Yeah, it's actually really good. Sexy Bela Lugosi. That's just so- he's just dark and sucking cheeks, mysterious. He's just like pouty lips.
Blue spider monkey.
I would just walk around with a light so you could sparkle if you would do that for Halloween.
It's a good one. Yeah, I haven't seen Twilight. So I did hear the books were like the most poorly written books ever, though. Next to all the 50 Shades of Grey books, they were like horribly written. That's just I haven't read it.
There's a good case of
wouldn't
shapeshifters.
know.
Everybody who secretly read that book and then goes to Sunday church.
Well, that's not even good BDSM. It's very watered down.
Which one?
Not well, obviously not Twilight.
Oh, 50 Shades. There's a really good. If you're listening to this, go search for "Guy Gets Caught at Twilight" or 50 Shades of Grey. It's when the movie first came out. It's a great video. You're gonna pull it up. And this reporter is standing in front of the theater exit, and they're saying, "Well, the first people have just left the viewing of Twilight," and all these women are coming out.
50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey. I'm sorry, I did it again. And one guy walks out holding popcorn and sees the camera and freezes because he knows he just got busted, and he's trying to backstep back in, but too many people are coming out. So he's just like, then he tries to go up against the wall, and he can't move, and he finally he's like, and you see him just like walk away, but it's really,
Should I play it?
yeah, just play it real quick. You
He was
guys-
probably on a date with his
Just put
girlfriend.
the popcorn back over your head.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can I make you full screen? Oh, it's unavailable.
Oh, all right, we'll pull it up later. We'll
Look,
use the Google.
I can do this.
Yeah,
Use the Google when you guys.
we can also just put on the Facebook.
So here he is coming
Yeah.
out. He's like, and just walking.
Oh, that's
back.
fantastic.
Yeah. This poor guy
I
totally
can't
gets
see
busted.
it at all where I'm at.
Oh, this is it's so good. This poor
Yeah, I'll
guy.
have to watch it later.
I feel like the best thing he could have done that moment was moonwalk. Just turn around and start moonwalking.
I would have just put my arm around the only other woman walking. Like, just grab a woman and say, "Come on, hon, let's go."
Hey, baby.
And then just walk out. It's like, you know, it's funny because I hate to go to movies by myself, and I even do the fake. I guess I'll just get one ticket. You know, I don't know. My friend's already in there. Like, I don't know why I still do that. I don't know why.
Couldn't you just buy the ticket and be like, I'm just meeting people?
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I
I'm
do.
just
like,
meeting people.
But then
At the 50 Shades of Grey show, you know, we have interests.
the last time
We
I
have shared
saw,
interest. It's like a FetLife meeting.
The last time I saw a movie by myself, and it wasn't that long ago, it was this summer. One other guy was in there, and we looked at this thing like
Should we sit
almost,
next to each other?
yeah. I think we kind of for a half a second we kind of made eye contact, like, should we?
We just.
I didn't.
What
We didn't.
movie did you go see? Because the last time I did that, I was like 11 and saw Spawn. Great movie, by the way.
It was the new 50 Shades of Grey. No, I'm just kidding.
The newest one.
Whatever, 50 Shades of Stupid. I don't know what it was called. No, I don't know what I saw. I saw something. I don't know. I think I was telling you what I saw. I was telling Tanya, I'm like, I'm going to go see a movie. It was like Tuesday. It was like $5 and I was home. I'm like, I'm going to go see a movie.
I bet that 50 Shades of Grey caused a lot of people to avoid eye contact. More so than any other movie after Lethal Weapon. Or no, I mean Lethal Attraction.
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon. Lethal Attraction. You know, when I see Danny Glover.
You mean Fatal Attraction?
Yeah, Fatal Attraction. Fatal Attraction. That's what I mean.
Well, that only had one. That just had the coochie
Yeah, but
shot.
I mean, like, I wouldn't look at that. I couldn't look at any woman straight in the eye. Like, what do you want from me?
Can you imagine being in a porn theater, though? Like one that just shows porn?
Why?
Can you imagine the guy who won't stop staring at you in the porn theater? Hey, man, nobody else is making eye contact.
So you know that guy wasn't supposed to be petting you the whole time?
Oh, I thought I paid extra for
Yeah.
that.
I don't think I signed up for the happy ending during this movie. That just seems really weird.
Now we're talking about, was it Lethal Weapon?
Yes.
Happy
Glover.
endings and Lethal Weapon.
Hey, you know, one thing real quick we didn't talk about is what we're drinking, because it's supposed to be Eat, Drink, and Be Merry. And tonight I went to the store and I got a beer that's called Quilter Irish Death. It's a dark, smooth ale.
It's by Iron Horse Brewery.
Yeah. It's because it's St. Patrick's Day. And this is what it just said. It was St. Patrick's Day. It's getting close to St. Patrick's Day. And I got some of this. And then for dinner, I made some chili dogs. I made some really good chili dogs. I think they turned out really good. But then Ryan, tell us what you brought.
I brought a Mountain Dew.
No. For sharing time.
I know.
It's
How's your
exciting, the Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
So, at Alter Egos, it's a great store in Boise. We actually sell some peach habanero jam. And we also have huckleberry jalapeno or habanero and raspberry habanero. And we're mixing it with cream cheese and Ritz crackers.
And it's delicious.
It's fantastic.
It's really good.
Yeah.
How did she makes it? Who makes it?
Danny's mom makes it, and it's incredible.
Does she just make it like when habaneros are in season and then just like cans it, or?
Yeah, I mean that's as far as I know. I don't know.
So good.
I don't know how she makes
Picked
it.
at the peak of ripeness.
Oh yeah,
with
it's
the most caring
fantastic.
fingers possible.
Yeah. So it's really great. I enjoy it quite a lot, and I will probably eat this entire jar. So
Yeah, no, I'm going to help you on that. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, all right. Well, listen, I know we were going to talk about something else, but we ended up turning it into shapeshifters, and I think that was actually better. We were going to talk about.
We were going to talk about reasons people believe in ridiculous things, but we can save that for next show.
Yeah, and actually, hopefully next show we're going to be doing a tarot card reading.
has it been an hour?
No, it's been 43 minutes.
Oh wow, that went by fast.
Yeah, considering you guys were even an hour late getting here, that's okay.
Well, I was working. I'm sorry.
I mean, like, to the listeners, has it gone by that fast, or is this just really dragging on and on?
To the four people still listening, did this seem long to you?
Right.
Oh, by the way, I did have somebody send me on a Ghostomentary Instagram page a ton of photos of haunted things, and I haven't heard. They didn't say anything about it, but it's for the podcast.
As in, could send it in to us?
Well, I don't know.
Well,
what
I'm
supposed to do
confused
with
by
it.
that. They just sent you a bunch of pictures of haunted things and didn't
Well,
tell you why.
I think it's
$49.99.
for what I believe it is for the show, but I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with it. But it's tons of. Well, I mean, I'll show you later. But if you just look like it's you know, then she's got. It's really interesting when somebody has to circle something, and then it says they have to tell you what it is. because you can't identify it until.
Which I think would be appropriate for whenever we talk about reasons people believe in ridiculous things, because there's a segment in that
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, clearly,
where it's like you don't realize something's there until someone points it out.
Well, I know,
True.
and it's the whole. Clearly, if I told you this place was haunted, if I told you my apartment was haunted, and you stayed the night here, and you heard something clickety clank, you go, "Oh, I heard the ghost." And the other thing is, clearly, our bodies are designed to see faces. And
Well,
things,
yeah,
so
it's called Gestalt psychology. The idea of seeing important data and random stimuli, and then going, creating that information that we need to process it.
Yeah, so that's why we see faces in everything. So when somebody says, "Look, this is clearly a face,"
It's Jesus toast.
Was it you?
$1,000 a piece.
Was it you that had the picture of Jesus on the tortilla?
I don't know. I sold it.
for what?
Well, it's really funny. Is one time I took a black T-shirt and I put a tortilla on it, and I took a picture where you could only see part of the tortilla, and I sent it to my sister, and I said, "Look at the moon; it's really close." And she's like, "Holy crap!"
You sent me that picture. It did look like the moon.
Yeah,
I was
it
fooled
looked
for a
like
second.
the
Yeah.
moon. Yeah. So I guess that's
It's a beautiful
true.
picture of the moon.
How
I
was
can
that?
never get those.
How was the tortilla though?
Oh well, I don't know. It was pretty good, I guess.
Tortilla.
I literally bought tortillas just so I could take that picture. So, hey, it was classic though. It looked good, right?
It did. This moon story is really waning.
Oh, wow.
In the mall, there was a flip-flop store, and I'd only gone there once looking for flip-flops, and they had this
that's
huge,
good.
ginormous, probably 3-foot-tall flip-flop that they use for display. And when they told me they were closing, I said, "I want to buy it. I want to buy this 3 foot long." And they said, "What?" And I go, "Just so I could say it belonged to Bigfoot." Like, that was my whole reasoning. It's just so I could say this was Bigfoot.
Did they sell it
Bigfoot.
to you? Because I have not seen this giant flip flop.
But I can't show it to you because I filmed with it. I used it in a scene that I shot for a movie that I'm working on right now, when it's supposed to be Bigfoot's flip flop. But we had to shoot it in the mall. We had to shoot it in the mall. They're like, "Don't take it out of the mall." So I gave them like a $50, and I said, "Listen, hold on to this. I'll come back." But really, it was worth $50 to me. I should have just ran with it.
So you leased the flip flop.
At least I borrowed it. I rented a giant 3-foot-tall flip flops.
You're filming a movie about Bigfoot's flip flop, and you haven't told us about it.
You haven't actually acquired Bigfoot's flip flop. I think this is going to make millions, and you're going to be left without a prop.
It's what I use. It's what I
Right.
made the Bigfoot costume for. I'm still working on that film. I'm getting there. I'm going to finish filming it this summer. This spring.
I feel like I don't even know you.
But if anybody were paying attention to the last one, when Ryan was talking about the Bigfoot, he had like size 8 shoes. So I think that you're on the wrong track.
We all talked about it the day we were watching Super Friends with the Wonder Twins. You must have not been there.
Well, yeah, I was a bucket of water at the corner.
No, we'll pick you up. No worries. You're going to help us solve this.
Yeah, you were just the drip, just sitting right over there.
Wow.
I don't know what number pun we're on, but I think there's only been 2 quality puns. The rest have been really bad, but they're fun. Puns are fun. I think so. So all right. So with that, I think it was a good episode. Number 3. Next week we'll get back to. We did talk about the mattress theory, which is good, but we're going to get back to some of this other stuff. Hopefully the tarot card reading, if we can organize that, and then we're going to talk about why people think. I do want to talk about. We started talking about aliens. I want to go a little more in depth in that about the life on other planets and what do we think is going to happen if they arrive, and we'll find some fun stuff in the news. So Tanya's adding it to her list. I'm really proud of her. She's a list taker. She did take. Did you ever ask Tom what it meant? She had one note that said Tom's room.
Oh yeah, it just said Tom's room. I don't know what that meant.
I'm not sure, but you're welcome in. We can have a seance.
It's haunted in here.
That
Look.
sounds terrifying.
Right?
She walks in and Tom's got a mattress in the living room.
Yeah, and all of the sheets on the ghost would have stains on them.
I'll have to clean up my mess from my warescaping.
Yeah. Oh, that's gross.
I'm tired of that warescaping nonsense.
Oh, it's all over the bathroom.
I wonder how hairy you would get if you did, like a half Asian werewolf. Would probably look like one of those hairless cats.
He would be a satyr. It would just be hairy, like in patches from the waist down.
Yes.
It looks all sickly and yellow.
He'd have to do like a comb over. He'd have like a big bald spot all over it. He just starts combing over. He's got a full body toupee.
Now, there's a show idea about the werewolf who has image problems
full
and
body
has to have a
toupee.
comb over.
That's funny.
I used to be cool. Now I've got a pot belly to comb over as a werewolf.
That's like what if someone who's like, in their 70s and doesn't have teeth gets bit by a vampire? What happens? Who's gonna gum the shit out of something?
And we should.
Tapioca.
I actually want to have a conversation about zombies a little bit too, because why is it I don't want to do it today, but why is it the biting on The Walking Dead? It has to be a bite.
I don't know. Did you ever
They
watch?
get blood all day long on them, but it's a bite. What is it, like gingivitis causes
Maybe.
walking causes zombieism?
Maybe. Did you ever watch Train to Busan?
No. But that one's
It's an awesome.
Where is it? But I couldn't figure out where it was at.
It's on Netflix. I think.
Oh yeah, I might watch that tonight then. That's insane. That looks so good. Okay, so this has been a good show. Let's call it a night. Anybody want to promote anything? Say anything beforehand? Tanya got to hold a big frog today on set. She was shooting the thing. She got a huge frog. It's pretty cool.
So I was kind of involved with the reptilians.
Nice. Did it change shapes? Did you make it nervous?
No, it just.
Did you
kinda-
kiss it?
It
You
felt
have to
like
kiss it, right?
Yeah.
It felt like a big, just cold, clammy plop.
Was it Prince material?
He did have dashing eyes.
Oh.
If you want to know what it's like to kiss a frog, just ask Tom's wife.
Yeah. I did choose this.
I
form.
mean that.
I mean, it was a conscientious thing that I chose this
turned
for.
into a prince. That's what I meant.
It happened
Look at him.
one
He's a
time.
prince.
That's really funny. I used to tell my sister that she had to be a princess because her bed smelled like pee. Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's funny, though.
And with the sirens, we're going to call that.
That's them for your joke.
Hey, at least there's no Bigfoot in a helicopter this show.
Oh, true.
That's
He wants his damn flip flop back.
I know you have it.
Cool. All right. Well, with that,
Have a good one.
thanks for listening.
Adios.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Sorry to say bye.
Oh, bye.